TREC mode. I was talking about the SP404's TREC mode in my live setup, how to do live setup videos. But today I wanted to kind of go further into how I use the TREC mode outside of a live setup, but essentially also in kind of a live setup improvisation type of deal. So yes, TREC mode. So right now I'm in the SP. I have a few sounds here and there. And eventually the goal is in the TREC mode. I guess the first kind of more common way to use the TREC mode is of course sequencing. So to access the TREC mode, I go into record, I choose a pad, then I hit remain. I stay on TREC. I'll do it for 1 bar only, so to kind of make it easier, I'll stay at 85 BPM because I want to use that later on when I'm kind of doing the live set thing. And then I just hit record. Right here we have different options. The subset is usually how your sample kind of starts, and also has I guess a little bit of a roll. So like this, the subset is full, so meaning that will play the entire sample. So for example, if I choose this is a kick, so then the kick will play on the first. But if I change this to, let's say, in the middle, the kick will eventually kind of shift a little bit to the middle. If I choose something like this, it will kind of make the note repeat a little bit. But the best is just to stay on the first one. So then velocity is velocity, of course, pitch and pitch. There is a second menu on this. So the second menu is by hitting shift. In shift, you have different things like shuffle, percentage, start. The start is similar to this. However, it will just kind of shift the start of the sample a little bit. But yes. And then from here, I just hit pad again, and let's add something else. So right now, as this pad 14 is blinking, that means I'm still like in the pad 14. So if I add the multiple note for the pad 14, and that's the pad 14 only. Then if I choose something else, let's say this, something like this. And if I want to add something else, something like this. So that's a pretty nice nice thing. Now this is just 1 bar, but I guess you get the idea. For like, the more I add, the more I have. And if I want to change something, I just go back to the pad. And now that's all of this is then in this this pad right here. By the way, to go back to the TREC mode, you just shift rec. And now I'm back into everything that I did. But the cool thing is, for example, I think I have a sample here. So if I want to add this, I can add this in like kind of, I guess, a regular way, where I'll just record, and then it's just waiting for me to do something. And then if I record, that was kind of like the regular recording way of DSP. But if I play back the TREC pad right here, I go from where I recorded. You see, this is the pad that I recorded in the regular one. So if I go to this, see, it has been recorded here. So if I can even change this as a TREC. And this is different because my sample is my sample has gate mode on, but if I do disable gate mode, and then it will play the sample longer. But kind of that will bring the TRX part and kind of combine kind of the regular way you would record on the SP. That is a kind of a cool way to use the TRX mode in the SP. But one thing that I've kind of noticed that this is not really, I guess, a way for me to record or at least to make stuff on the SP. I don't really find this the best way for me to kind of make beats on the SP. But for me, where the TRX mode shines is in kind of a live setup, improvising, where I have some stuff already playing, and then I use the TRX mode as kind of like a little drum improvisation, a little sample improvisation here and there. That's where I see where the TRX mode is. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I'm trying to build up a live setup thing. So this is essential in what I'm trying to do. So let me just plug in my little mixer, and then we'll try to do a little demo. All right. So right now the set is relatively simple. The SP is connected to my little mixer, the BX800. Did a whole video about this. I will leave it in the description. But the SP is connected to I think input 3, channel 3. And then I have 2 more channel coming out of Logic. Things like these. So like a little melody right here. By the way, I'm using Logic's live loop function. I primarily use this because I already had Logic. I didn't want to switch up to Ableton and then relearn the software again and then doing all the setup, and Logic has it, so I'm trying to utilize what I have. But anyway, so I have these. I have 2 melodies that is coming out of channel 3 from Logic, and then this channel 3 then comes into the first channel on my mixer, and then I have a bass that is coming out of channel 4, or at least output 4 on the audio interface. And that's it. So these 2 are mainly the music part that I'm trying to kind of explain this whole thing with. I have the SP connected via MIDI out of the audio interface into the MIDI in of the SP404. Of course, you gotta have the little dongle. This kind of allows me to send MIDI data from Logic into the SP404. So I guess right now we kind of understood what I'm trying to get to. But yes, to kind of keep it short, Logic is the master clock, and then Logic sends MIDI sync data into the SP404. I have my melodic channel on from Logic, and then what I'm trying to do is to have the SP404 as kind of a improvisation little groove tool. So in this test, the idea is that the drums will mainly come from the SP404. As MIDI goes, right now I don't have any music, all 3 are muted, but if you go right here, you still see that the BPM on the SP404 is 85, but if I start playing here, it changes to 120. Configuration on the SP, I go to Shift, Utility, System, and I go to Control 3 and then MIDI. MIDI sync is for me auto. You can still change this to internal, external MIDI or whatever, but I still want to put it in auto because auto kind of whenever I need it. Right now it's still on 85, but as soon as I press play, it catches up to the BPM that I have in Logic. Anyway, so if I'm going to play this right now, I think it's going to be a little bit of a mess because I still have all of this. So if I'm going to play everything, I think this is not going to be good. So yes, that's not good. Anyway, let me perhaps SP404 kind of crashed. Anyway. So right now I have my drums, my little things, my drums right here. I activated the metronome to kind of stay in groove, but I can turn it off easily. So right now if I go sounds like this. So then I have my drum right here. Right now this is the drums that comes out of the SP. Things seems to fall a bit of out of sync. So to configure this in Logic, I have this menu right here where I go synchronization setup, and then MIDI. So then MIDI fuse 4 clock, shows the MIDI fuse 4 right here, clock, and then it's tick. So right now if I play everything, play around with this a little bit. So this kind of ups the performance side of this whole setup. Of course, the idea is that I'll have my own drums here, and then if I need to kind of improvise with the drums on the SP, then that's when this whole thing comes into play. But I still can mute stuff, of course. So yes, this is the setup, this is the plan. It's a little bit, I guess right now it's a little bit incomplete, but this was kind of to showcase how all of this would eventually come together. The TRX mode is a very cool little function on the SP404. I really like it. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, especially when it comes to syncing. And in my use case, of course, it's kind of the live syncing. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to that. But yes, TRX mode, Logic live loop, mixer. I mean, this is the setup right here, man. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.